Let's move on from the OPEC ministerial meeting, which was online, virtually done today, to the hundreds of millions of US dollars which are placed on the table today at the start of the 2-week-long US Climate Summit, also known as COP28, taking place in Dubai. The COP28 event was convened to assess the road to lowering global emissions by 45% by the year 2030. Developed countries are also expected to submit more ambitious action plans and deliver on their promises of $100 billion every year to support climate action in developing countries at the summit. Let's take some soundbites now from both the president of the outgoing COP27 and the incoming COP28 president.
As you all know, COP27 convened at a difficult time in the midst of a challenging international context, as the world continued to recover from the impacts of COVID-19, as well as face the compound ramifications of the war in Ukraine. Nevertheless, COP27 turned out as yet another moment where our commitment to a greater cause prevailed, a landmark in our collective progress to ensure inclusive and effective global climate action. Building on previous COPs, COP27 succeeded in delivering a number of much-needed and long-awaited elements to the global climate agenda. Together for Implementation was not just a slogan at COP27, but rather a timely call to move from setting rules, frameworks, and commitments to a clear focus on the tangible implementation of these commitments on the ground. A call which we heeded together by establishing the loss and damage funding arrangements, including the fund, launching the Just Transition Work Program, and agreeing on the Mitigation Work Program. We showcased an unwavering commitment to enhancing global climate action during this critical decade. By voicing a resounding call for the reform of international financial institutions, highlighting renewable energy as a pathway for the future, championing the adaptation agenda through the work of the Marrakesh Partnership, and agreeing on unprecedented outcomes on water, oceans, and forests, we at COP27 ushered in a new age of implementation in our relentless fight against climate change. Colleagues, as we highlight the achievements of COP27, we also need a frank assessment of where we stand in relation to our collective ambitions, to the stark realities of science, and to the echoing voices of impacted communities across the globe. A quick realities check in this regard should be of concern to all of us for a number of reasons. First, because most of what we bring forward as tangible solutions and actionable commitments is based on speculation or well wishes at most. That we will be able to deliver our NDCs conditional and unconditional. That developed countries will deliver the 100 billion goal. That the loss and damage fund established in Sharm el-Sheikh will be replenished in billions of dollars. That international financial institutions will be reformed to deliver all the support required. And that the private sector, altogether with Article 2.1.c of the Paris Agreement, is the silver bullet that will unlock the flows of appropriate finance to developing countries. These are all mere assumptions with no evident proof in reality. Second, rather than increasing climate finance from developed countries, actually, it's decreasing in relation to the growing needs and the increasing cost of finance in developing countries. The Green Climate Fund and the Adaptation Fund are but two examples of this worrying trend of decreased financial flows. Third, the expansion of fossil fuel exploration and production, in particular of coal, in countries that previously committed to substantially phase down or in some instances to completely phase out coal.
Today, countries representing more than 85% of the world's economy are behind COP28's goal of tripling renewable energy capacity by 2030. And we are reaching critical mass on the goal to double energy efficiency by 2030. This is how we will transition away from unabated coal. Let me also encourage countries to establish net zero methane emission targets as part of their next round of NDCs. Zeroing out methane emissions can make a huge impact in the shortest time frame. Colleagues, and let history reflect the fact that this is the presidency that made a bold choice to proactively engage with oil and gas companies. We had many hard discussions. Let me tell you, that wasn't easy. But today, many of these companies are committing to zero methane emissions by 2030 for the first time. And now, many national oil companies have adopted net zero 2050 targets for the first time. And I'm grateful that they have stepped up to join this game-changing journey.